Something is brewing in the dark streets of Chicago. The city lights flicker over blood-stained pavement. Sirens echo in the distance, and a familiar face walks through the chaos, calm, dangerous, and ready for war. The new Power Book 4 Force teaser has just changed everything. It doesn't whisper. It screams that Tommy Egan is back, and this time, he's got more enemies, more money on the line, and a family that's falling apart from the inside. But the real shock, it's not Tommy who's starting the fire. It's D-Mac, the young prodigy who once looked up to him, now planning something that could destroy everything Tommy has built. The teaser opens like a storm, flashing lights, gunfire, and the kind of tension that makes you hold your breath. It's quick, sharp, and cold. You see Tommy's eyes, full of rage and focus. And then a fast cut to D-Mac standing alone under a flickering streetlight. A gun in his hand, and a look that says he's no longer the kid from the block. He's a man ready to take what's his. The air feels heavy, like the calm before a shootout. And for the first time, you can sense that this season isn't just about business, it's about revenge, betrayal, and survival. Every second of the teaser feels like a warning. There's money piled on tables, masked men moving in silence, and cars speeding through the city at night. You hear whispers about a plan, something big, something dangerous, and then a single phrase cuts through the noise. It's time to take what's ours. That voice, D-Mac, the same kid Tommy once risked everything to protect. Now, he's the one plotting against the very crew that gave him power. It's shocking, but it's also the perfect setup for what's coming. A war between family and loyalty, between blood and empire. Tommy stands in the middle of it all, a man who's lost too much to back down now. You can almost feel his anger boiling under the surface. His enemies are getting bolder, the cops are closing in, and his own people are starting to doubt him. The teaser doesn't give away much, but it gives enough to know that Tommy's about to do what he does best, clean house with blood and bullets. The way the trailer cuts from D-Mac's cold stare to Tommy's violent moves says it all. It's teacher versus student, uncle versus nephew, two men on a collision course, both convinced they're doing what's right. As the last frame fades, the city lights go out, and only Tommy's voice remains low, controlled, deadly. Ain't nobody talkin', what's mine? That's the moment you realize the war has already started. The screen turns black, the beat drops, and the audience is left with that one haunting question: who's going to make it out alive this season? Because in Power Book 4, Force, nobody stays loyal forever, not even blood. Before this storm began, before D-Mac ever thought about crossing the line, there was Tommy Egan, a man trying to build an empire from the ashes of every bridge he's ever burned. Chicago wasn't ready for him, but he didn't care. He came in like lightning, striking fast, burning everything in his path. Last season showed us that Tommy isn't just another hustler. He's a one-man army with a code: loyalty first, betrayal gets a bullet. But in Chicago, loyalty doesn't last long. The streets are full of smiling enemies, and every handshake hides a knife. When Tommy first arrived, he had nothing but ambition and rage. He wanted to control the game, to prove he could do what no one else could, run the whole city his way. He built his crew from scraps, made deals with people he couldn't trust, and went to war with those who thought he was just another outsider. He lost friends, made powerful enemies, and buried more bodies than he could count. The city bled, and Tommy didn't flinch. That's what made him dangerous. That's what made him unstoppable. But power has a cost, and last season, Tommy paid for every dollar, every bullet, every ounce of control he fought for. D-Mac, his nephew, was supposed to be his chance at something different, a chance to break the cycle, to build something that didn't end in blood. But when has Tommy's life ever been about peace? D-Mac grew up watching the chaos, seeing the fast money, the guns, the respect that comes from fear. He wanted that power too, and Tommy gave him a glimpse of it. But power changes people. Slowly, D-Mac began to see himself not as Tommy's student, but as his rival. Last season planted those seeds, small moments of tension, cold stares, and silence that said more than words ever could. And now, in Season 3, those seeds have finally grown into betrayal. We saw it all coming, piece by piece. The fight for territory with Gennard and CBI, the uneasy alliances with Claudia Flynn, and the haunting memory of Liliana's death, Tommy's trusted soldier. Taken out when she was just starting to believe in him. Her death was more than just another loss. It was a reminder that everyone around Tommy ends up in the dirt. It hardened him. It made him colder, more dangerous, and more alone. By the end of Season 2, it wasn't just about building an empire anymore. It was about revenge, survival, and proving to everyone, including himself, that he can't be broken. But that's where the story twisted, because in trying to control everything, Tommy started to lose the one thing he didn't realize he needed: trust. D-Mac saw that weakness. He saw Tommy's anger, his obsession, and he learned from it. He learned how to play the game, how to watch, how to wait, and how to strike when the time was right. Tommy thought he was teaching D-Mac how to survive the streets. What he was really doing was training his future enemy, and now, that enemy knows all his moves. The streets of Chicago don't forgive. Every debt gets paid one way or another, and the blood never really washes away. By the end of last season, alliances were crumbling. Jennard was on the run, CBI was split down the middle, and the Flynn family was sharpening their knives for another round. Tommy stood alone, king of nothing but chaos. Yet somehow, that's exactly where he thrives. He doesn't need friends. He doesn't need love. He only needs the war. Because when the smoke clears, Tommy Egan is always the last man standing, even if he's standing in a pile of bodies. The teaser for Season 3 doesn't just show us where he's going, it reminds us where he's been. Every flash of blood, every scream, every broken promise, it all ties back to the man who started this mess. Tommy didn't come to Chicago looking for redemption. He came to take over, but power is a poison, and now it's spreading to everyone he touches. D-Mac, Jennard, Claudia, they've all caught the sickness. And now, the student is about to test the master. As the camera pans across the city skyline, the lights of Chicago look almost peaceful. But that peace is a lie. Beneath the surface, every crew is plotting, every gun is loaded, and every deal is just one betrayal away from disaster. The streets remember everything, every promise, every lie, every drop of blood. And for Tommy, there's no going back. The past isn't behind him, it's chasing him, wearing familiar faces. And this time, it's armed. The teaser wastes no time showing us where the real threat is coming from, and it's not who anyone expected. For the first time, D-Mac steps out of Tommy's shadow and into his own darkness. The streets that once scared him now move when he walks through them. The kid who used to follow orders is now giving them. The teaser makes it clear. D-Mac is done being the student. He's done being protected. He's ready to make a move so bold, so reckless, it could tear Chicago's underworld apart. Robbing the CBI. The teaser opens with silence. That heavy kind of silence that feels like it's holding its breath. Then, the sound of a gun being cocked breaks through, followed by dmaxvoice.com. Low, dangerous. If they won't give me my cut, I'll take it myself. It's not a cry for attention. It's a declaration of war. Quick cuts show D-Mac surrounded by masked men in a dimly lit warehouse. Blueprints spread across a table, stacks of money and weapons ready. The camera doesn't linger on his face, it focuses on his hands, steady, confident, cold. This isn't the same kid Tommy once saved. This is a man planning to steal from killers, the kind of move only someone with nothing to lose would make. And that's what makes it so dangerous. The teaser plays with tension, cutting between D-Mac's plan and Tommy's empire, unraveling in slow motion. You see Tommy in the club, surrounded by his crew. But there's something off, whispers, side glances, tension so thick you can feel it through the screen. He's losing control, and he doesn't even realize it yet. While he's watching his enemies, his family is plotting behind his back. It's a classic power move. The betrayal always starts at home. Then comes the heist. The shots move fast, black SUVs racing through an empty road at night. Masked figures breaking into a stash house, cash flying through the air. D-Mac's voice echoes again. CBI's been stealing from us for months. It's time to even the score. The music builds heavy bass, sharp drums, and the camera pans to the crew's faces. All unknowns, new players hungry for a piece of the city. They move like soldiers, clean and professional. They're not kids from the block anymore. They're a new generation of gangsters, raised in Tommy's chaos, now turning it into their advantage. But power never shows you everything at once. Between the flashes of gunfire and broken glass, we catch small hints, a glimpse of Tommy watching a news report about the robbery, a shot of Jennard screaming into a phone, and a scene where Claudia Flynn smirks, saying, "Did you really think he'd stay loyal forever?" That line changes everything. It means D-Mac's not acting alone. Someone bigger, smarter, and colder is backing him. Maybe it's the Flynns. Maybe it's someone new. Either way, D-Mac isn't just robbing the CBI for money. He's making a statement. He's saying he doesn't fear anyone anymore. Not even Tommy, and yet, there's something haunting in the way the teaser shows him. You can tell he's fighting something inside. The anger, the pain, the need to prove himself, it's all there, just under the surface. One shot shows him alone in his car, staring at a picture of Tommy and himself from better days. He hesitates for a second, then tosses it on the dashboard and drives off. It's symbolic the moment D-Mac officially cuts ties with the man who made him. From that point on, it's not about survival, it's about power. What makes this teaser so brilliant is how it flips everything we thought we knew. D-Mac isn't just rebelling, he's becoming the kind of man Tommy used to be. Cold, strategic, fearless. The mentor has created his greatest rival. And now they're walking the same path, except this time, only one of them can stay standing. The teaser's pacing builds that feeling of inevitability. You know it's all going to explode, but you can't look away. The final moments hit hard. We see Tommy walking through a dark alley, the glow of red and blue lights flashing behind him. The voiceover cuts in. You think you're ready for this life, but this life eats everyone. Then it switches to D-Mac, standing in the same alley, same lighting, same framing, a mirror image of Tommy from season 1. He stares into the camera and says, "I learned from the best." The screen goes black. The power theme rises. And that's it, no explanation, no closure, just a challenge. It's a masterful tease, one that doesn't just promise action, but emotion. Because this isn't just about a robbery, it's about the ultimate betrayal. Family turning on family, blood turning into bullets. The streets of Chicago are shifting again, and this time, it's not Tommy pulling the strings. It's D-Mac, and he's ready to show the world that he doesn't need to follow anyone anymore. The question is, how far is he willing to go to prove it? The teaser doesn't just hint at chaos, it bleeds it. The air is thick with vengeance, and Tommy Egan is once again the storm at the center of it all. His return in season 3 isn't quiet or controlled. It's violent, personal, and deliberate. From the very first seconds, it's clear. Tommy has no interest in rebuilding, negotiating, or forgiving. He's here to remind everyone what happens when you cross him. The first 3 kills of the season, teased in those blink and do miss it clips, aren't random. They're messages, warnings carved into the streets of Chicago with bullets, blood, and fire. The first kill happens fast. It's late at night, the streets empty, the kind of silence that feels too calm for a city like Chicago. The teaser shows Tommy walking alone, his face half lit by the red glow of a neon sign. He stops, looks across the street, and you hear it, the soft click of a gun. A figure steps out of the shadows, someone familiar, one of his own, a traitor. The kind of man who smiled to his face and sold his location to CBI the night before. There's no argument, no speech, no hesitation. Tommy raises his gun, and in one clean motion, ends it. The camera cuts to the man's body falling, the echo of the shot bouncing off the brick walls. It's not just murder, it's control. The teaser slows the moment down, almost poetic, showing the look in Tommy's eyes after he pulls the trigger. Cold, focused, empty. This isn't revenge, it's maintenance. Then comes the second kill, and it's the one that hits harder. A daylight scene, rare for power, which thrives in the shadows. Tommy's behind the wheel of his car, engine humming, eyes locked on his target. The man he's after isn't part of his crew this time. He's a middleman, someone who's been feeding CBI information about Tommy's new drug routes. The teaser cuts between Tommy's face and the target stepping out of a diner, laughing, unaware of what's coming. The next moment, a flash of chrome, a roar of the engine, and the screen explodes in chaos. Tommy drives straight into him, no hesitation, no warning. It's brutal, primal, and loud. The body hits the hood, the car screeches, and for a brief moment, all you see is Tommy gripping the steering wheel, breathing like a man exhaling rage. It's a reminder that Tommy doesn't just kill to survive, he kills to send a message. No one betrays him and walks away. But it's the third kill that sets the tone for the entire season, personal, emotional, and haunting. The teaser saves it for last, framing it like a confession. The music drops, and the world goes quiet. You see Tommy enter a warehouse, empty, cold, the kind of place that holds ghosts. He's holding a gun, but this time, his hands shake, just slightly. Across from him stands someone unexpected, someone we don't see clearly in the teaser. A voice says, "You don't have to do this." And Tommy replies, "You should have stayed out of my way." Then, one shot, quick, final. The camera cuts to his face, no smirk, no satisfaction, just a man haunted by what he's done. Fans are already guessing who it is. Maybe a Flynn, maybe someone from his past, maybe even someone he once loved. Whoever it is, that final kill feels like more than just survival. It feels like the point of no return. Each kill escalates the story, not just in violence but in meaning. The first one is business, the second one is revenge, and the third one is personal. Together, they form a pattern, a reflection of Tommy's descent. He's not just fighting for control of Chicago anymore. He's fighting to keep himself from being swallowed by the same darkness he's always carried. The teaser's editing mirrors that chaos: fast cuts, heavy breathing, close-ups of Tommy's bloodied knuckles, flashes of police sirens and burning cars. It's a visual heartbeat of war. What makes it even more chilling is that after every kill, Tommy looks more detached, more numb. It's like each life he takes erases a piece of who he used to be. The teaser doesn't give us dialogue after the kills, just silence and heavy music, letting the images speak for themselves. You can tell this isn't a man trying to prove anything anymore. He already knows who he is. This is Tommy Egan at his purest form, ruthless, disciplined, and beyond redemption. But underneath the violence, there's something tragic. You can sense it in the way the camera lingers on his face after that third kill. It's almost like he's realizing that every person he eliminates brings him one step closer to being completely alone. The same empire he built to protect himself is now the reason he can't escape his own demons. Chicago gave him power, but it also cursed him with isolation. The teaser makes that clear. The more Tommy wins, the more he loses. The last shot of the teaser ties it all together. Tommy walks down a dark hallway, his clothes stained with blood, the echo of his footsteps fading into the distance. Behind him, 3 bodies, 3 stories, 3 warnings. A faint voice plays over the final frame, maybe D-Max. Maybe his own thoughts, saying, "You can't kill your way to peace." The screen fades to black, the power theme swells, and for a second, you're left wondering, is Tommy still in control? Or is he finally becoming the very thing he's been fighting against all along?